Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a live swatch and review of the new Jewel Be Bold collection from OPI for holiday 2022. We have 12 new shades to look at here. Almost everything is twinkly. We just have one cream shade, and in the very end of the video we'll do some dupes and comparisons. So we have a lot of polishes to swatch through. Let's go ahead and get into the live application, and I'll tell you a little bit more about my thoughts and where I got these polishes. Okay, let's start the live swatch. We're going to go in alphabetical order as we always do. We're going to start with Bring Out the Big Gems. So as you can see, this has a very deep burgundy base, and then it has this kind of bronzy gold shimmer going all throughout, maybe a little bit red in it as well. And it's really, really beautiful, gorgeous, and deep looking on the nail, as you're going to see in this video. Almost everything is going to swatch really nicely and easily in just 2 coats. So if you're in the mood for something vampy, this is the vampy one out of the collection. I just think that looks stunning. So love that. And I do have comparisons for you for basically every polish in here. So next we have Charmed, I'm Sure. So we have a glowy fuchsia berry in this shade. As you could see, that glowy shimmer, it's a very, very small particle dense shimmer, and this is in a little bit of a sheerer base, and it kind of gives this this quality. It's not like a milky quality, but it's not like a super strong intense pigmentation. It's more like a glowy, like ethereal kind of quality. So there are 2 shimmer shades in here, the pink and the purple, and this one has the smaller particle, which is more of a glow, and the other one's going to be more of a typical shimmer. All right, so next we're going to look at Decked to the Pines. So you see I have a gold on my thumbnail. I think it's that gold that is in this polish. It is very opaque. It has this kind of blue leaning evergreen base. You could even call it a teal. It's pulling much more green because of all that gold shimmer in there that is making this really lovely metallic look on the nail. As you can see, I only really needed 1 coat. So this one almost looks duochrome. I don't think that it is, though, when you put it next to regular duochromes. It's just because of all of that strong kind of teal in the base contrasting with that beautiful gold shimmer. I really did like this shade. It's tiny bit frosty, so just be aware of that. Feelin Berry Glam is this lovely berry shade that's more purple than pink if you're looking at your berries. I do have lots of comparisons for you with this one, and I think that you could probably find something really similar already in your OPI collection, so you can look forward to that at the end of the video. I'm going to do 2 coats here. It swatches so nicely, and it's a little bit deeper than the other purpley berries, so we'll go ahead and look at that coming up in a little bit. But isn't that gorgeous? Just so flattering. Such a beautiful color. All right, next up we have Go Big or Go Chrome. So OPI put a nice bright silver twinkling chrome polish in this holiday collection, and even though there's not really anything too special about this chrome shade, you do need the 2 coats. I am happy that they put this in here because having a nice bright chrome for your holiday manis is so iconic, and if you don't happen to have one of the I have, I think, 4 other comparisons for you for this at the end of the video, then this one's a good one. You can still see my visible nail line, as you can see a little bit at 2 coats. So perhaps you have an indie chrome that you like, that would do. It's not really anything special, but if you don't have a silver chrome, you might really like it. This is Mary and Ice, and there are 2 polishes in the collection that have a similar formula to this, with this really beautiful larger particle gold shimmer. This one is meant to be worn as a full coverage polish, and the other one is intentionally a lot more sheer, and I like it a lot better. What happened was this white pink base that they've got going on here ends up being pretty streaky, and unfortunately I didn't end up loving this one. I think you would have to wear it as a topper to not have streaks, and so that was kind of a bummer for me. If you're just like crazy for pinks, you might want to snag this, but for me, I ended up not liking it as much. So just a heads up for you on that one. Pink, Bling, and Be Merry is the other shimmer out of the collection. I was telling you there's a purple shimmer and there's a pink shimmer. So this is the pink one. It is very similar to the other one in that it has this kind of, not mauve-y, kind of almost like a smoky quality to the base where it's not super clear, and then you have all the shimmer, and as you can see, this is a larger particle shimmer. So I just thought it was interesting, the two shimmers that they put in here. It makes them they're still really beautiful and glowy and shimmery, but it makes them like a little bit more serious than like a bright shimmer such as like 15 Minutes of Fame, which was in a past collection that they did that I really like. I prefer that pink to this one, and I'll show you a comparison at the end of the video. But this is really pretty too. It was a little sheer on me. Rhinestone Red-y is the only red in the collection, which, hallelujah, there's not a bunch of reds in here, and they're not all just cream shades because we have enough red creams. When I go to do comparisons for all the red creams, I'm just like, oh, here we go again. So this one has the biggest flakies. This one and the very last one that we're going to look at have these really big silvery white fluffy flakies, and in the red base they just look red, and it's really beautiful. It looks like you're wearing sequins or glitter, but you're not going to have the experience of trying to take off glitter. So I think you'll really like that one as well. It looks nice and blingy and flashy without, you know, actually having the glitter. Sleigh Bells ring. This is the gold that I've had on my thumb. As you can see, it has this kind of foily finish where it basically shows all the imperfections in your nail, but that's okay. I like it in the collection. It's kind of the same story as with the silver chrome. I'm glad that they put it in there because it's really an iconic look for your holiday festivities, and it pairs really nice with it, with a lot of the other polishes in the collection, especially the two greens. There's two like greeny teals in the collection, and so I really enjoyed that. If you have another really yellowy gold, it'll do just fine. You won't need this one. There's nothing special about it. Next, we have Snow Holding Back, and I like this shade. I like it a lot. I think this is the one that I was referring to that's in the same formulation as that pink Mary and Ice or something like that, because can you see all those really nice and big gold flakies? But they put it in an intentionally sheer base. There is some white in this base, but it's just like a teeny tiny bit, so it's not causing streaking problems. This polish is incredibly similar to Orly Ephemeral, and so I will show you that direct comparison coming up in just a little bit so you can see if you need to have both. But as you can see a lot of my nail there through it, but I just prefer this look so much more. I think it just looks really great, and you're not going to be constantly looking down at your nails being like, oh no, I didn't paint that well. Okay, this is my top pick out of the collection. This is a teal metallic chrome kind of polish, Tealing Festive. As you can see, it's very opaque. This is probably a polish that will dry up on you if you're not really careful to make sure that cap is screwed on really tight. So basically it's just a silver chrome inside a very pigmented teal base, and it is gorgeous. It's very dynamic looking on the nail. They haven't released anything like this recently. I do have a few comparisons for you, but they're not this same finish. And so I love this one. I highly recommend you snag it because it's fantastic. So there is that one. That's my top pick out of the collection. And one final polish for you out of the collection. We have this blue that has the same kind of formula as that red, but because blue is such a differently pigmented color than red, that red saturation is so through and through, and they put less pigmentation in here, and blue is just much lighter. So it's supposed to look like a frosted, kind of frosty look on the nail with the blue and the bright white silver flakies, nice big fluffy flakies. And what's really good about this one is they didn't really add a dense fine shimmer in there, so it doesn't make it look too lumpy. So that's 2 coats on my nails. All right, so now it is time for dupes and comparisons. In some instances, I will have a direct dupe for you, and a lot of the other instances, it will be, here are some shades that are very similar, and these will probably pass if you don't want to snag a new color. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. I actually surprised myself with how many things that I pulled for this comparison. I didn't know that there was going to be so many things that I thought were very similar. So I'm just going to go through the chromes really quickly because they all look almost exactly the same. I drive a Supernova. It has more of a dense, smaller particle chrome pigment going all the way through, so it looks a little more smooth. The rest look more particly. So we have this gown needs a crown. That one dries matte actually, which I really, really liked. And then we had I Drive a Supernova. DS Radiance is on the other side of Go Big or Go Chrome. And then we have Ornament to Be Together. So I think they're all really nice. They certainly look super, super similar. By the way, I opted to not use top coat for any of these so that you can see them dry down in their natural finish. And it also, I think, gives a little bit truer color. So Sleigh Bells in the middle there, we have from this collection, Sleigh Bells Bling. It's the most similar to this gold Slays Me. As you can see, it's obviously more of a bronzy gold, but they are pretty close. I like both of them a lot. And then if you like a gold metallic that's more larger particle and twinklier looking, and you don't really want the chromy kind of look, then you can go for this one over here I have for you called Dazzling Dewdrop. Is really pretty too. The rest of the golds that I had weren't quite as yellowy, so that's why I didn't include them. All right, so I searched all of my OPI blues to try to figure out what blue polish was reminding me so much of the blue in this collection called the Pearl of Your Dreams. And I have this one here for you, Let Love Sparkle, which has a formula that I really don't like very much. It's kind of similar, but it's not the one that was reminding me of the polish in this collection. And I'm wondering if maybe it's Zoya Elsa, which I had destashed because I knew it wasn't a formula that I was going to wear. So maybe that's where I feel that there's something super, super similar. So from OPI's line, I didn't find anything similar for anything more similar than this one that I have here for you. All right, the fuchsia black cherry kind of berry shade in the collection. I have a lot of choices for you, and as you can see, some things that are a lot more similar than others. I actually put it right next to some lighter berries and discovered that it was more similar to the kind of black cherry colors on the end. So the most similar things are Get Cherried Away and What's the Hatter with You. So if you have those, you could probably just wear those instead if you're looking for a reason to not need to purchase this shade. Seventh and Flower is in there too. And then on either side of Feelin Berry Glam, we have Harajuku Get This Color and All That Raspberry. Those are 2 coats of everything. 2 coats on all of these swatch wheels, by the way. So in this collection, we have the pink shimmer and we have the more fuchsia berry shimmer. So first up, we're going to look at the pink shimmer. So in the middle, I have the one from this collection, Pink, Bling, and Be Merry, which is a larger particle than all of these other pink shimmers that I have for you. So on the far end, and of course, remember these aren't top coated, but the darkest one that is kind of in the same realm, but if you want something deeper and vampier, go for Thank Glog It's Friday. And on the other end, we have actually what ended up being a matte color, which is Clash of the Tartans. I really like that shade. In fact, I think I like all of these polishes a little bit better than the pink shimmer that they included in this collection, just because it is a little bit more more sheer. And I felt I'd have to almost go for 3 coats with this to get the payoff I was looking for. But these other 2 directly on the left and right of Pink, Bling, and Be Merry are really, really good. 15 Minutes of Flame. That one is so impactful. It's like one of my favorite pinks that OPI probably has ever done. And then we have All Your Dreams and Vending Machines, which starts out as a similar color but has a purpley blue glowy small particle shimmer. So it ends up looking pretty different on the swatch wheel. So here are some other options for you if you're looking for something a little different. All right, now let's move on to the fuchsia shimmers. So right in the middle we have Charmed, I'm Sure, and that is surrounded by 2 shades. I think the actual closest to duping Charmed, I'm Sure, which I don't know if you have this, but Susie and the 7 Dusseldorfs is almost an exact dupe. It's a little bit older, so you might not have it, but if you happen to, they're really, really similar. I also have here for you Kiss Me or Elf. And of course, that's a little bit deeper and less strong of a glow. We have Samurai Breaks a Nail, which starts out as this same kind of milky, almost mauve-y berry base, but that one has a strong blue shimmer in it, and so it ends up looking very different. And then we have a couple more. I wanted to show you how it looks next to And the Raven Cried Give Me More. So I put that on the far end. As you can see, that's a lot deeper pigment, a lot stronger pigment as well. And then DS Imperial is in there as well. That one dries matte too, but is a little bit deeper than Charmed, I'm sure, but also does look pretty similar. And then I wanted to put All Your Dreams in Vending Machines here against this one as well, so that you can see the similarities there, because they are pretty similar. They have, I think, what is the same shimmer, but one has a berry base and one has more of like a hot pink base. All right, the very, very light pink with gold sparkle in it. I have a few comparisons for you. So the one in this collection is called Mary and Ice. And the most similar thing is actually Breakfast at Tiffany's, which dries matte and is, of course, more of a cream color and not a pink. But they're very, very similar. They probably have the same shimmer in there, just one dries matte. The other two shimmers that I have for you on the side don't have a similar shimmer, but they are kind of a similar base color. So if you're looking for a different look that is gonna, I think, give you less streakiness, I have for you the Color That Keeps on Giving and Throw Me a Kiss. And I ended up liking this shade so much better. Even here on this swatch wheel, I was able to get it less streaky than on my nails. So it was just a little bit of a tricky color for me to paint. All right, so keep in mind that I did not add top coat to these so that we could really look at those base colors. But these all do have a really strong red shimmer, which maybe I will top coat them in just a second so that you can see. But so we have Bring Out the Big Gems in the middle, and I wanted to show it to you next to Every Month is Oktoberfest. They do look pretty similar on, but as you can see, that base color is an indigo. It's a deep indigo rather than the very deep crimson color, and they also are slightly different shimmers. But they do, all of these do look pretty similar once you've got them two coats on the nail. The other two shades that I have to compare for you are Black to Reality and Midnight in Moscow, which both basically have a black base with red shimmer. So they're similar, but they're not the same polish. But once you've got them on and dried down, they do actually all look pretty similar on the nail. I'm going to put top coat on now just so you can see all of the glorious shimmer come out. So if my favorite out of these four is gotta be Every Month is Oktoberfest. It's just so beautiful and I love it in that indigo base. And if you are looking for that polish and want maybe a more cost-effective or budget-friendly alternative, you can definitely check out the Moonshine Manny Project Dupe It series. And that's at moonshinemanny.com, where you will find a great dupe for that shade and a number of other popular, hard to find mainstream polishes for a great price, and also with an indie formulation. So you're gonna have, you know, cruelty-free, 10-free, and just more fantastic components. So I just thought that these looked so beautiful with their shimmers on, and I wanted you to see, but I really wanted to be able to discuss that base color, and I felt like it was more visible without the top coat. So anyway, there is the top coat on it for you, so you can see that lovely shimmer. And there you have those comparisons. All right, so here's a comparison between Snow Holding Back and Ephemeral, which was one of my favorite polishes that Orly released in the last few years. It's just a very sheer base with a super, super glowy particle, almost probably the exact same as the one that OPI just released in this collection. However, it has a denser amount of it, so it has a better payoff with the shimmer. They are very similar, but I would recommend Ephemeral to you over the polish that is very similar in this collection. That is just my opinion. You guys know I try a lot of polish, and that one I just think has the better effect. If you don't have a way of getting Ephemeral, go for the polished Snow Holding in this collection, but I would prefer, if it were me, I would prefer the Orly option to the OPI one. Okay, final swatch wheel. I love all four of these teals. OPI does a great teal polish. So my favorite polish out of this collection is the teal, as I told you guys before. And this polish is called Tealing Festive. I have on both sides of that polish, we have This Color's Making Waves. I love this polish so much. Right over here, it has these little teeny tiny flash specks of like a bright orange in there. It's so pretty. I also have I Saw It on Teal-O-Vision. Super pretty right there next to the teal from this collection. And then on the end we have Cuckoo for This Color, which also has these really beautiful little delicate flashes in there. Really gorgeous shades. No exact dupes, but some fun comparisons. All right, some great greens with gold in them from OPI. So the green in this collection is called Decked to the Pines. I think it's gorgeous. It has basically a teal base with a gold to green shimmer going throughout. And so I wanted to put it next to Just Spotted the Lizard, which is a very popular OG duochrome from back in the day when mainstreams were just starting to use duochrome. And so it goes between gold to green, but it has a very sheer base, which is why it looks so different from Decked to the Pines, because all of that teal is kind of pulling through and affecting that shimmer. So really fun. I would love to just wear those two together. And then I had another green for you that I wanted to share. This is Visions of Georgia Green. Totally different, but such a cool green. It has these tiny little sparks of red and green in the base. Really pretty. So this is just a reminder about that shade. And hey, if you have it, pull it out. All right, the final comparison. So the red in this collection, the one red that we got was not a boring cream. It was a cool, flashy red. And so in the middle there you have Rhinestone Red-y. So I have two other really beautiful jelly reds that are filled with sparkle. If you are wanting a less chunky, flaky in your red shimmer, then I have two suggestions for you. Gimme a Lido Kiss is the smaller of the two flakies. And then we have Heart and Console, which is really beautiful. I love that. I really like all three of these. I think Heart and Console is just so beautiful. So it's like, depending on what size, what particle size you want, you could choose from those three shades there. So no exact dupes, but some options for you. All right, guys, so that was the entire holiday collection for OPI 2022. Now, I have no immediate plans to wear these shades because it's still totally Halloween time in my world. But come holiday season, I do feel that at least half of these are going to be really fun to play with for this season. Now, whether the half that I'm not into are just personally because of formulation just being a little iffy, the color choice, possibly me having something that is a little too similar, so I could already think about maybe wearing that other shade. But for you, maybe these are all totally new colors that you could see yourself vibing with for this holiday season. So please let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts of this collection are. Are you into it? Is this just like a total pass for you? What was your favorite polish out of the collection? Did you agree with me about the best shade in the collection? Thanks for your opinions and your thoughts, and thanks for joining me for this video. If you aren't yet subscribed to the channel, I encourage you to do so. And make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my new videos where we review new nail polish collections in the mainstream and indie world. And I will see you back for the next one very soon. Take care. Bye.